I'm Patrick Bailey with IQList.com. Today is March 11th, 2018, and in this video I'm going to be 3D printing the hand cannon from Fortnite. The guys over at a Skewed View 3D posted a comment on one of my videos and basically said, "Hey, do you want to try print out one of our designs?" To which I said, to which I looked at and went, "Yeah, that sounds kind of cool." So I went and found where their designs were over on Thingiverse, and looked at their channel and looked through what they had. And they're actually doing a lot of really interesting geeky stuff that they're trying to do several prints a week. And they're doing a lot of little cannons and guns and different things. So I looked through here and I found a couple things for Fortnite. And now my kids, my son and my daughter, are big into Fortnite right now. Also my wife and my mother-in-law. They don't play it, but they love watching them play it for some reason. There's some weird thing. They just all sit there and watch my son especially playing Fortnite. So I thought it'd be a cool idea. And they've got a video here where they're printing out this Fortnite hand cannon. And it's over here on Thingiverse. And here's where their design's over on Thingiverse. Here's their URL. And I'll go click on the cannon here. And so this is the URL for their hand cannon. And it's thing 2818017. So I'm going to go download that. And I'm going to kind of do what they did in their video because I thought it was a good idea. I'm going to print a small one. Something, just print a small one, and I'll try to print more what a life size might be and see how successful I am. Okay, so let me download this from Thingiverse. So let me click on the thing file and download the STL file. And then let me show in my Finder. There we go. Oops. Show in Finder. There we go. So I'm going to drop this onto Prusa Control. So let me go open up Prusa Control right now. And then drop this guy on here. And now I did this earlier, and one thing I don't like, and I haven't made any 3D print designs yet, so I don't know how hard or difficult or what you got to do. But when I downloaded this is very, very tiny. So it's a tiny little thing. So it'd be preferable if it was actually the size it should be, like the big size, and then I could go down, but for some reason it's small. Now watching his video, I saw that the small one looked like it might have been 1,000 times enlarged, 1,000% enlarged. So I'm gonna go for 1,000% and kind of see what that looks like. Not bad. And also, I liked his idea on his print where he actually had printed it upright. So I'm gonna try to print it upright by rotating it, I don't know, on the y-axis, 90 degrees. Not that way. Let's try -90. There we go. Now on his print, I saw as he printed it out, he had a problem as he got to the top where it was kind of jerking it back and forth. So I may let it go and see how well it does. And maybe as it gets closer to the top, maybe slow it down a little bit so it doesn't jerk. I don't know. Or I'll just let it go. So we'll see how well it does. And we'll put supports everywhere. Because if we don't, this is not going to look really well, right? Plus our supports shouldn't be too bad. We'll just have supports on the bottom and I guess right there. So it's not bad to put supports everywhere for that. Cool, I think that should work pretty well. So let me generate the code for that. Dun dun dun. Cool. Yeah. Looks good. So 2 hours and 2.8 meters is the estimate. So I will save the G code for this guy onto 3D prints. I have a little folder for Fortnite. So I'll do that. So there's the hand cannon. I'll save it. Now let me go back and figure out, try to make this big. So try to go the big route. How big can I make it? I think I saw him to 25-40%. I think he might have been trying to get the maximum. Man, that's big. Well, I can go bigger. I'm trying to visualize how big that is. That is big. I think I'm going to offset it here and try to use up. I'm still learning, still new to 3D printing, but one thing I have started to learn is that the material, the Prusa plate is covered in this, it's not PLA, It's covered in plastic. I can't think of the name of it right now. But over time it should wear out a little bit. So if I'm doing all my prints in the exact center all the time, I imagine the exact center will wear out quicker. So I'm going to try to put it in another location slightly. How big can I go? Whoa, what if I go 3,000? That looks like you are skirting the edge. 3,000, that is big though. So that would be about as big as this thing can make it. Well, let me just hit the code at 3,000 and see how much it's going to take. How long it's going to take. That may be a long, long build. We'll see what's going to come up with. 10 hours? That's not terrible. This usually seems to underestimate for me, so I'm going to guess 15, 14. That's doable. 41 meters. Well, that's a lot of stuff. That's like, you know, $3 worth of stuff, I guess. But it looks cool. Okay, I'm going to try it. It's big. Okay, let me save the G code on this. And so here is, put big. Hand cannon Fortnite. Hand cannon big. So I don't print the wrong one. Cool. So that's saved. Let me go back and actually save this file. I should probably start doing that. Save the project so I have it for next time in case I want to. Hand cannon. Okay, so with that, let me get started. The first one I'm going to do just in a gold color. I'm going to do a small one. And after I get the small one done, I'll start doing the big one. Okay, first the little small one. So the small one, it did pretty well. So overall, the total time it took to print was 3 hours and 3 minutes. It took about 2.3 cents worth of electricity, and I'm also basing that on 10 cents per kilowatt hour. And it took 2.29 meters of filament. And so I'm still basing my filament number off the fact that a filament roll should have about 333 meters, which comes, and roughly, I'm just saying that a roll costs about $20, you know, taxes and everything included. And that comes out to about 6 cents per meter. And so that actually comes out to, when you add it all up, it comes out to a grand whopping total of 16 cents to print this out. So that was pretty cool. It's really small, really interesting. And now onto the big one. Okay, now for the big one. So this big one took me 15 hours and 37 minutes to print out. However, I was trying to film and I was trying to copy the files over in between and trying to speed up the process of making a time lapse. And I also ran it slow for a time, accidentally for an hour. So I think you probably need to knock 3, maybe 4 hours off that time. Or maybe you could do it faster. So I think mine's deceptively long. But it came out to, it used 37.22 meters of filament. And based on the fact, I'm still using the calculation of 6 cents per meter for filament, based on the idea that a 1 kilogram roll of filament has about 333 meters in it, and I'm kind of basing it off $20 per roll. You know, your mileage may vary, so you can adjust it. And so based on that, this took $2.23 worth of filament. Also, it took, on electricity, it took 12 cents worth of electricity to run this whole thing. So all in total, it took $2.35 to print this whole thing out, which is not too bad. It's kind of cool. But a really cool thing happened. And so maybe I'll try to make a little shorter video to show here. It's a bad thing, but it's a really cool thing too. So at one point, it screwed up. All of a sudden, it was trying to pull the filament through, and it went dip, 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 and you could hear it. And it had an issue pulling the filament through. I'm not quite sure what was wrong, but I stopped. I went to the producer control and I paused it. So you can pause a live print, which is a really cool feature. And when it does that, it actually looks like it's stopped. So it'll move the print out of the way, and so you're free and clear there. So I guess you can change your filament. You can do all kinds of cool things, I guess. But also, so as a result, I had to pull the filament out, cut it, put it back in, did a little test, got it all working. And so you can see that there's this line right there that didn't get printed because it screwed up and didn't print that part. And as a result, you can see, after playing with it for about 3 seconds, it got broken. So there's a little fault line there. Also, here just to show you the size. Yeah, this was printed at 2,540%, and it's kind of small for being a big gun. Also, I'm kind of glad it broke. My son requested to print it in gray, which I should have just said no. But I did tell him if I'm gonna print it in gray, it can't leave the house because there's too many. It looks like a gun. So I'm kind of glad it broke. I'm gonna probably print another one out, but I'm not gonna print it out in gray or black or any color that may make it actually look like a real gun. But what I think I might do, and I have to get some education to figure this one out, is this is too small. So doing a little rough calculation, this is about 8 inches from tip to tip. And I think for it to be a big gun, it needs to be 14. So that's about 175% bigger than what this is. And to do that, my rough calculations, you should be 4,500% bigger based on that design out there. But if I did that, I think I need to split it in two and print it out in two things and combine them. So to do that, I need to learn how to use, I think there's a program out there called Meshmaker by Autodesk. I have not fiddled with it yet, never downloaded it, but I think you can slice it and then put pins in there maybe and reattach it. So that may be something I might try. Oh, another thing, I was kind of amazed how it printed up right and that it actually did a pretty good job, except for, you can see the back part here. It got the job done, but it needs to be sanded. And there's a few broken parts that kind of messed up. And so that didn't do as well as I'd hoped. So also, I think I need to split it in two so that it will just print better and so I won't get little, rough edges like that. But overall, pretty cool. I think they did a real cool design. So the next thing is, I might make a video, or if I can figure out how to use Mesher the next few weeks, I might make a video making a bigger gun in 2 parts and reattaching it, which is a really cool thing to learn how to do. Okay, well anyway, that's the end of this video. I will stick on the end of this video some longer time lapses, because time lapses are just really fun to watch, at least for me. And I hope they are for you too. hey, if you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up. If you didn't, hey, give it a thumbs down. Also, if you like what we were doing here, subscribe to the channel by clicking the subscribe button. And lastly, have a piece of info to share? Just post a comment.